There's a very nice verse that goes along with this purport nicely. The verse is Brahmananda. As if by one's good fortune one comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. It's different. That if by the grace of Krishna one gets a spiritual master, and by the grace of the spiritual master one gets Krishna. So that's why the spiritual master is said to, he should be given respect like that of the Supreme Lord. It's not that he is God, or he ever will be God, or ever was God, but that he's the representative. And that representative has to be given all this the due respect. The example is, Ramanda Brahmite Kono Bhagavanji, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. That's the verse. And the example is when a king is invited to some function, very important function, and he's planning to go there with his full retinue, all of his entourage, and defense forces and ministers, everyone's going along, family members, wife, children. And then something comes up and he can't go. He sends along the viceroy, like the vice president or the vice king, to take his position, take his place. Now, if those who are holding the event think that having the viceroy is not very important, and so they don't go to the same length to make it a spectacular event, they'll be strongly rebuked for that. They'll be criticized. They are supposed to give the same treatment to the viceroy as they give to the king. In that way, the country feels that they've properly respected their nation. And the king, he will also support. He'll say, look how nicely they're taking care of my assistant. So this means they're genuine and they're showing proper respect. This is the beginning of spiritual life. And the relationship with the spiritual master is as good as the relationship with Krishna. Because in our beginning stage, we have no idea how to relate with Krishna. But the spiritual master can take us easily by the hand, so to speak, and give us the training on how we should react and interact with the spiritual master. So when we've learned how to associate with the spiritual master on some level, then we can progress on understanding how to deal with Krishna. Because we're forgotten souls, we've conditioned, we've lost track of who is God, who we are. We're in such illusion, we're bewildered completely. We don't know who's God, who's not God, whether there is God. This all has to be learned. So this is learned from the spiritual master. And he teaches from without. And the super soul, that's Vishnu, as Paramatma, he teaches from within. So they're both teachers. And their mercy is the same. There's another nice verse that Srila Prabhupada quoted in a letter, in his first letter to me, my initiation letter. He said, that one who has implicit faith, Yasideve Parabhaktir Itadeve Tatagro, Tasyaite Katita Hyarta, Prakashante Mahatmana. One who has implicit faith in both the Guru and Krishna, to such a person all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So this is a secret, you could say. It's a secret to success. How did Srila Prabhupada have so much success? How does any great devotee have so much success today, like Lord Jesus Christ? How could he accomplish so much in a short period of time? His time was short. But because he took the message of his spiritual master and presented it as it is, and he had great faith in both. Same thing. Everyone can do this. It doesn't make any difference whether the person is a great scholar or a sannyasi, or he's young or old, rich or poor. It doesn't matter. If that person has the faith and the devotion for the spiritual master, then Krishna is pleased. Krishna says, someone who claims to be my servant directly, I don't accept him. But one who claims to be the servant of my servant, I accept him as my disciple or my servant. As he has to claim that he's not directly connected. If someone thinks that he's directly connected with Krishna and there's no one in between him and Krishna, him and God, then he won't be accepted. In other words, he has to go through the proper protocol. Now, the protocol may seem like, well, we know protocol. We know all these time-wasting bureaucratic arrangements. We want to get right on with it. Let's get on with it. But that is the way to get on with it. And without that, yasya prasada Bhagavad prasado, yasya prasada nagadikatopi. Dayam stuvam stusya sasishandhyam vande garoshi charanarvindam. Without the mercy of Krishna, or if one doesn't give respect to the spiritual master, then Krishna won't respect that person. For example, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking with a very learned scholar. His name is you'll understand who I mean. He was speaking to him, and this person, he wanted to show Lord Chaitanya his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, my commentary, I think you'll like it more than that of Sridhar Swami. So Sridhar Swami was the first Vaishnav to give a complete commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Chaitanya did not appreciate very much that statement, because the commentator was claiming his own commentary to be superior to that of Sridhar Swami, who was recognized as the original commentator. So Lord Chaitanya said, if someone doesn't accept the Swami, referring to Sridhar Swami, then I consider him to be like a prostitute. Those are strong words, but Lord Chaitanya made a strong point that it's imperative to have proper respect for the spiritual master. And that's why in our movement there have been some attempts by certain persons or groups of people to establish a different method, a method whereby they could get the mercy of a predecessor acharya without getting the mercy of any of the acharyas between them. So that's not possible to do, and that we certainly can't. We can't give support to that, since Srila Prabhupada never gave support. Bhaktisiddhanta. None of the acharyas have ever agreed with such a teaching. That would be creating havoc. The teacher has to be the in-between teachers, the disciplic succession. They have to be qualified. It's not that just anyone can step in and take the position, but they do need to be qualified. But then they need to be respected, just like in the Christian lineage. You have Lord Jesus Christ accepted as the head of the Sampradaya, so to speak, and his teachings are considered paramount. But those who feel themselves that they're directly related to him and with no connection to any other leaders of the line of succession that they're following, if they don't accept anyone as representative of Jesus, only Jesus directly, then it becomes very difficult to carry on the teaching properly and the behavior. And that person who in the disciplic succession is taking the position as a representative of the previous acharya, he must be also following the principles that are designed for representatives. And we discussed those, I think yesterday, had a long discussion on that, about how the Bhakta Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, how he must have qualifications, controlling his mind, etc., his senses, everything. Then he can sit on the asana, and he won't be considered just trying to show off or boost himself to a position that he's not qualified for. If he follows those instructions given by the acharyas, then he can become a spiritual representative of the Lord and the Lord's great predecessor acharyas, like Brahma and Narada and Vyasadeva. These are the first acharyas in our line after Lord Krishna. Thank you.